Hello, dear friends. Welcome back. My name is Domas, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today, enjoying the sunny day. It's a bit windy, and I wanted to read to you something that I wrote. Time goes by feverishly quickly. Here, I am happy that Sunday has ended, my weekend job has finished, and I start my week of studying, writing, and doing basically all things which would keep my being at a good state. Today I started repeating, everything is good, and it actually felt like it worked. I was looking forward to this time where I would be able to sit and write. This is the time. I felt it today as I was reading out a text I wrote about seeing a lynx. The sight was wonderful. I shared about the sighting with the people I know. I felt special. I had goosebumps. But I even felt much better when I was telling you about it. The fact that I wrote it, that made it special. The act of writing. Why do we write? Do I want to preserve something? Andy Warhol was recording his life continuously. People thought he was fake, but I think he was a mishmash of his pure self and his creation, which is his real self. So he was as real as it gets. And we don't want to see real. We want to see that which fits, that which is easy on the eyes, the ears, the mind. But the real? Get out of here with that stuff, with the truth. I often, I often saw people in my own circles of friends, people who would judge those who showed their true colors. I would see a friend become an artist, and surrounding people judging them behind closed doors. I think the artist, no matter how well known he is a winner, because no matter how hard it was, they broke through. And it takes guts to do that. I never considered myself as a writer, but yesterday I told a friend that I wrote 7 pages yesterday, and she said, "Oh, you write all right." So I thought, why not? Why not to give myself a chance? Sometimes I will write something that I like, and others might hate it. That's what tends to happen with artwork. A lot of creations which I don't like, other people find something beautiful in it. So you can never tell yourself which work of yours is good or not. Writing is like a string which you follow through the depths of your conscious mind. And if you are lucky, sometimes you can touch upon the unconscious, I believe. These thoughts sort of fly through, and sometimes you're able to grab hold of them. I like to write those thoughts out that seem a little bit odd or out of place. That is, if I'm lucky to catch them. Sometimes you have to write for hours in order to get something good out of yourself. I think the practice of writing by hand on paper is already a magnificent exercise which one can take part in. Julia Cameron taught me that with the artist's way. Sometimes the noisy places are the best places to write in. I like the challenge of it. And the best part and the worst part is that you can only write one word, one letter, one sentence at a time. Sometimes you cannot think what to write next, so you just start writing, and the words just show up by themselves. I think my life has been like that lately, where you live one day at a time, 1 hour, even 1 minute. It's good to plan, but sometimes you can't think of a plan. You don't know what's good anymore. You can just feel what is good for you to do. In this moment, in this, it's this page, these letters. Sometimes you can think of a sentence and write that down, but in the middle of it, something inside you changes the way the sentence ends, and that's going with the flow. I read that I read that we don't know how we actually make decisions. We only take a somewhat lightly calculated guess, and that's a decision made. I realized I am present when I write. I can't think of my worries when I write. I just think of solutions. And when you're inside of a solution, when you're in the act of writing, a lot of doors open. Time flies by so quickly. We want to record time and then watch it all happen again. But that's not life. Maybe we just like to see life fly by ever so gently, like we are observers of life here on this world. We might be cameras recording. Every time your eye meets a stranger's eye, there's two cameras looking at each other, two eyes of God. I believe we each have a part of God inside us, and it's the driving force of what we are doing here on this planet. Like if you look at the tree, it just stands there gracefully. It doesn't ask for much. An animal hunts its prey when it's hungry. They don't hunt so much afterwards they couldn't eat it all and it will all go to waste. So what are we, these intelligent intellectuals roaming this world? What's our purpose here? To drink coffee at cafes and watch people walk by? If it only was that easy. At the moment I see three pairs of people. A young couple, a middle-aged couple, and two friends, women, all sitting by the same bar-like table, and only me in the corner, observing. There's three conversations happening, and one conversation with oneself about those three conversations. Do those people know that I included them in these writings? There's a slight chance. Time rushes through, and so does the thoughts. Sometimes they're as stale as old cookies, and perhaps that's the best time to write. Or when the cafe empties out and the church bell rings 3 p.m. A friend at a distance texts from London, seemingly interrupting the writing process, but perhaps enriching it too. Two guys walk in a cafe and announce, "What kind of meeting is without beer?" They weren't happy the cafe doesn't sell beer. I remember when I used to drink, I was going crazy. I felt so creative, but I wasn't. I just felt all sorts of ways, all kinds of feelings at once, and I felt invincible when I was drunk. When the drunkenness ended, I would feel devastated. That's an addict's mind talking. Sometimes I miss the feeling of being drunk and not caring, having that feeling of happiness, but it's sort of fake. It's fleeting. It's not real. You can't capture it. It's not like words that you can put on paper. I think writing saved me. I was still drinking when I started writing, and I didn't pick up a drink again since I started. Every day I have to write at least a little bit, something, 2 pages. The more the better. All the people that I know who write are in a way magical people. They can spend time alone and not be bothered by their surroundings, just go into their own world. And also there's this excitement, also a tinge of fear of not knowing what will happen next, what I'll write next. There's a whole ocean of words and thoughts and shapes that your writing can take without you ever knowing when or how. It's wonderful, and it's sad when the inspiration ends, but then you can write about the end of inspiration. When you burn and turn into ashes, but then eventually rise like a phoenix. We live in the world full of information, some good, some not so valuable. You have to choose what you indulge your eyes into, what you listen to, and then digest into a new creation of yours. Because that's all there is: input, process, output. I notice that with the thoughts running through my head in the morning. Usually it's the thoughts from the previous day, something I saw, judgments. Do you judge yourself a lot? Like negatively? Let me know if you do in the comments. Would love to hear your story. Thank you for being here, for listening, for spending the time with me. I appreciate each and every view I get. It really pushes me to keep going forward with this practice. I believe that by sharing what I have can kindle something in you to start your own creative process. Do let me know if you have found this valuable. It would mean so much to me. I feel privileged that I can talk with you in an open and honest way about what's in my heart. I believe if we all do a little of that, we can improve our world to become a better place. To be more honest with one another can do a great deal of joy. Writing gives me the expression of freedom, but freedom comes with responsibility. If you have any suggestions how I can improve on my writing, do let me know. Or any suggestions on future topics to write about. Perhaps it's more on stpd or schizotypal personality disorder, which I have been diagnosed with. Perhaps it's love, perhaps it's relationships. I feel there's so many topics of which I could speak. It's hard to choose one. It seems easier to freestyle, but I wouldn't want to repeat myself in my writing, and that is hard to do. I have a lot to improve in, but that's the joy of it, I think. I'm proud of you. Know that you have a big heart, that your smile can make someone's day much better, save a life even. And if you ever feel down or anything that you'd like to share, don't be shy. I welcome you here into this community. Comment anything and everything that's in your mind and heart. Let's just be. Love you and peace. So, yeah, that's my writing from the day before yesterday. Um, I like this practice of writing out first and then talking to you about it. So, I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Sunny here. I'm in the forest. I'll go for a cycle. Take care, guys. Have a great day, morning, evening, nighttime, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know what your thoughts are. As always, love and peace.